What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. We got a great show lined up today. Going to be talking about all kind of things going on in the market. Where's the price going? We had a failed pump. Seems like it broke back down. Is that an indication of something bigger happening here very soon? Well, we're going to be talking about it. Everybody roll call right now. I want to see everybody throw in their lab coats, throw in their microscopes, throw in some emoji, get involved. We'll be breaking it down here in just a moment. We got 22 people in the room, 20 likes. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. We're going to be getting going here in just a few moments. Friday. Going into the weekend, do you think the price is going to be pumping in this weekend with lower volume? Do you think we're going to be sitting still? Where do you think price is going? I told you every day, yesterday, 3 p.m. stream, I talked about that $26,000 level. We did push up to it, went a little bit above it. We talked a lot yesterday about potential traps, bull traps and bear traps. Was that push up yesterday a little bit of a bull trap? I do believe it was. His price came right back down to a known level. We're consolidating inside of a range. Looks like there's some compression and there's going to be some movement that's got to come soon. I don't mean the movement like we saw yesterday. I mean a much larger movement. So what do you think is going to happen? Where do you think it's going to go? Everybody get involved. We're going to be talking about all these things, Bitcoin and crypto, in today's stream. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I love each and every one of you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. We got a lot to talk about today. So let's keep it vibing. Let's keep it positive. Let's keep it encouraging. Let's talk about skills, tools, strategies. Bridge that gap from beginner to pro, and welcome everybody that's new. Everybody I want to see right now. Don't care if you've written this before. Where are you tuned in from? What city, what state, what country? Are you in your car? Are you walking down the street? Are you in a room in your house? Are you making breakfast? What are you doing? Let me know. And we're going to be getting going here in just a moment. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. Welcome back. It's Friday. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling grateful? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling sad? This is a community. We don't only talk about what's going on in the charts. We talk about what we can do to make our lives better. And in this case, of course, we focus on digital assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, AVAX, Cardano, all the one, XRP, Quant, HBAR, all our favorite tokens. Of course, there's a lot more. But why do we want that capital? We have to remind ourselves on a daily basis, what is my why? Why am I doing this? If you don't have a why, you're going to burn out. You don't have a why, then there's nothing to really carry you through. And I just want to shout out every single one of you that's here right now, because we're here even in this frustrating part of the market. And many of you, most of you, have been here since day one. I would say at least the 53 people that are in the room right now, at least 30 of you have been here since before we had 1,000 subscribers. And we've been doing this about 8 months now. We're growing. Given we were a small channel coming out of nowhere, launching in the depths of the bear market. But we've grown to almost 10,000 strong in a matter of 8 months in a market where a lot of other YouTubers are losing followers. Of course, that's okay, because many of them had a lot of people in their community, and we're just getting going. But we talk about meaningful things here without bias. We try to figure out how we can allow the data that's presented to us to stack the probabilities in our favor so that we can dominate these markets and not let these markets dominate us. My name is Kellam. If this is your first time, I can guarantee you it's not going to be your last time. All my information is boom, right there. You can see it. And I just want to make sure each one of you that's in the room is participating, not only in this stream. I don't care if it's crypto. I don't care if it's stocks. I don't care if it's a comedy podcast, when you watch these kind of things, people spend hours and hours and hours every day putting together in the space and the teams behind it and the graphics and the broadcasting and the gear. Easiest way you can support anything that you're participating in watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. That's right, ding the bell, because it's dinner time for profits. Let's dive in right now. First things first, if you're watching anywhere else, you're making a little bit of a mistake. I appreciate you watching, but make sure you head over to the BitLab Academy stream right here, youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. And I just wanted to checking out Ben's new stream. Congratulations to him for getting a new stream up. Big love to Ben, and I wish him all the success in the world. I do want to say, where is it at? Right here. Don't be like this guy. This is the expert trader everybody wants to be. And here's what most people end up doing. Why is that? Why does that happen? Why can we see somebody turning profits on a regular basis? Maybe they're posting it on their social media. Maybe they're, and then we try, and the second we buy, the price goes opposite direction. A lot of people I've seen say, if you want to know when to short the market, I'll let you know when I bought so you can sell, because the price is going to reverse. If that's the case, then look at what the hell your strategy is. It's not the market taking advantage of you. It's your lack of strategy, or the strategy that you're using not being effective. So we need to check in with ourselves. It's not just trading. It's our relationships. It's our self. It's our self-esteem. It's our skill in the gym. It's our skill at playing guitar, whatever it is. It's nobody's fault except our own inability to have discipline and to implement a strategy that's effective. And if something's not working, it's not the market. This always happens. This is negative self-fulfilling prophecy bullshit doesn't serve you, and it doesn't serve me. It doesn't serve us to focus on being a victim. What serves us to say, man, this didn't go the way I expected. What can I change? What can I do? And that's what we're here for at BitLab Academy. It's community, it's tools, it's skills, it's strategies, it's context, it's understanding what's going on so that we can take control of our future. Again, my name's Kellam, and I'm honored that you're here. Thankful for each and every one of you. If you're feeling grateful, if you're feeling fired up now, whether or not you were before, but if you're feeling fired up, I want to see some lab coats in chat. I want to see everybody posting something. I want to see this just flying by, something you're grateful for, an emoji. I don't care what it is, but I want to see some engagement from each and every one of you, because we got to be fired up, whether or not the market's going up or down, whether or not we just lost a trade, whether or not, it doesn't matter what it is. If we can't be passionate about the things we want to do, then why the hell are we doing them? That's what we got to talk about today. B-Rad Crypto, what's up? Rafiq Ghafoor, Alex Green, my main man, Sawtooth Hiker, Crimson Caravan Company, Indie Rock Crypto, Karen Swigart Harris, Ant-Man77, Eric Brubaker, Total Clinic Solutions, Brad Guidell, Jackson Crawford. Everybody's in the room. GS, I saw you all. I was calling you all out pre-stream. I just want to say I'm fired up today. And if you're not fired up, then get yourself fired up, because that's what we got to do in order to be passionately involved in the things, the data, the context, the news, price action. If we can't be fired up, then what the hell are we doing it for? If you can't tell, I'm feeling a little bit fired up today. And I think it's time to dive in to what we want to talk about. So if you haven't yet, make sure you head over to my Twitter page right here at Kellam. You can see all my information. I always point the wrong direction. All my information right there. Make sure you're following the correct one. Look for the blue check. Look for the hit logo. Then, of course, if you haven't yet, head over to BitLab Academy's Twitter page right here at Academy BitLab. Look for the gold check. Look for the hit logo. If you want to be entered to win some stuff, we've given away $100. We've given away lifetime memberships. We've given away courses. We've given away the indicators. All you got to do is participate in these. We randomly draw from those that hit that follow button, hit that retweet, and hit that like button. Now, what are we talking about today? First off, let's start with the chart. What's going on with the chart, baby? Indie Rock Crypto says, burn, baby, burn. It's a crypto inferno. Man, I'm feeling good. Eric Brubaker said, I'm actually feeling great. When I lose money, I learn. That is the only way you can think contextually in this market if you're going to win. I've talked about it before. I lost $70,000 in about 2 trades. This was about 6 years ago because I was just not using healthy strategy. The market went exactly the direction I thought it would based on my analysis. But I was using too high of risk, too much leverage, and the market basically, somebody saw my exact trade in the order book and said, I'm just going to go there, get down there to the cent, liquidate his ass, and then go the direction he knew it was going to go. And that's what's going to happen. It's not all about knowing the direction the market's going to go. It's about accounting for the improbabilities and the likelihood of price action, sometimes doing traps in both directions, liquidity flush outs. And this is why I want to really encourage each and every one of you to practice healthy risk management. And you don't need to win every trade. You need to win the right trades and be okay with losing multiple trades in a row with healthy risk management so that when you do lose, it doesn't outweigh the profits you make on the trades you do take that are profitable. So, all right, what we see here, a couple things. This is a 30-minute chart, Bitcoin. What do we see? Well, first things first, I want you to just notice something. This is a much smaller time frame than that 4-hour or that 12-hour or that 3-day. But what do we see here? You're going to see similarities across different time frames when you look at charts. In this case, see an expansion of momentum to the upside. And then we see this rolling over. And then look at this. There's a low. There's a low. We have a new lower low on this range right here, and a new followed by a lower high. And then what happens? Bottom falls out. So let's go to the 12-hour. What do we see? Rolling over. Are we going to get the new lower low? You can let the chart inform you, especially because it's charted. You can look historically. You can let the chart inform you about what price action likes to do based on looking on different time frames over, whether it's larger time frames, 3-day daily chart, weekly chart, 12-hour chart. And then you can also, if you're not sure about it, look backwards in time, historical analysis, see what it has done in the past. But then also you can go to smaller time frames like we just did here on the 30-minute. Where were we at? Boom, right here. Rolling over. This looks a lot like what we just had with the push up, the consolidation, and the breakdown, right? On the larger time frame. So what do we do? Well, first off, let's delete some lines. Delete. Remember, we do not want to trade on hope. We can have hope, but hope and strategy a lot of times are at odds with each other. So coming here to the 4-hour chart, I drew this. I was going to post it, but I didn't. I figured I'd wait to share it with you guys here. I drew this because look at these 2 arrows. We got this bullish sort of arrow and this bearish arrow, meaning price action break above this line, a price action break below this line and fall. Now, what do we see in the context of what's happened here? Expansion to the downside, inefficient. Why? There's no stopping points. It just falls through. We get an inefficient pump to the upside that doesn't even reclaim the lows of the previous range. And in so doing, we also have this touch point projected out. This is exactly where we rejected from. And look at this. We still, this didn't even get basically roughly about halfway up to this point here. And similarly, another reduction in bullish expansion here, meaning we're having an attempt. We're having a large attempt. We're having a smaller attempt. We're having a smaller attempt. Now, in addition to all this, we see this dotted line going through here. Kelly, why do you have all these lines on your charts? What's going on here? Well, first off, let's zoom out and see what this line is. We look at this line, comes all the way back to this high at $64,000. This, let me see. So we have a lot of this touch. This has a little bit of a deviation above, but we lose it, come down, rejection. And if we come over here, look at this, touch, and then a lot of noise here. But interestingly, we can see this tried to rebound up, rejection below it, rejection at the line, deviation above. And then look at this, rejection. And one of the things I like to do when I'm doing technical analysis is use indicators in confluence with what's happening with trend lines, both diagonal and horizontal. So I can see where certain indicator, in this case on the BitLab Intelligence, we have this trend signal line. On the daily chart, we have this trend signal line, which is this is a 50 moving average. It's bright red, meaning we are definitely in a bearish trend. We have all this dynamic resistance zone. We also have this weekly VWAP here. All of this part of the BitLab Intelligence, which is one of the indicators within the BitLab trading stack. And we see we did break above this weekly VWAP and came up and tested the area right here at this trend signal line. In the first candle here, we rejected below it. And this next candle, we look at that. We can see the wick. The wick pushed up and tested, actually breached it just momentarily and got rejected back down. So now here we are between the trend signal line. This is on the daily chart, between the trend signal line and the weekly VWAP. And we also have, based on this diagonal trend line here from this point, this point, this point, this point, this point, this point, and all of this. And then we also have this trend signal line that we're kind of compressing into. But we have two different options here. Even price action breaks above this line, immediately we have this above us, right about 26,770. So it's looking like there's coming into this weekend, like we're getting a little bit of a compression inside this range. If this full range plays out, that would be basically another week, 7 days. That's if it plays out. Now, when you have a price action, a candle pattern on a chart, what you'll typically see is the price action basically compress into the zone until you get, somewhere, and it's hard to tell depending on the shape, but this basically goes from here all the way to where we're at now. Somewhere, anywhere in this region is an okay time period to be looking for a likely breakout above or below the support or resistance. Now, this very well could compress all the way into this because we're not having any news right now. All the news we have is of a speculative nature. Why do I say that? Because it's things that are on the horizon. ETFs right now, all the applications and delays and all these things that have been happening, it's still speculative in nature, which is why on these pumps, we've talked about this ad nauseum on this channel, this was a speculative pump. BlackRock couldn't follow through and break this known level. Why known level? This known level right here, this area right here. This is a hurdle that's projected over to here that we cannot break through. BlackRock and XRP right here still could not break through. And then we get the speculative pump right here with Grayscale, rejected again. And then we get, you could argue that this little pump here was partially because I'm sure a little bit had to do with the fair value accounting rules that were announced in the last 36 hours or so, allowing the notion that it's easier or maybe more attractive for institutions to get involved. Maybe it was a couple other things as well, but we see, we're getting shrinking, the momentum and the pushes from the bulls are getting weaker over time, AKA the bulls are getting weaker. If the bulls are getting weaker, what does this also mean? The inverse of that is the bears are getting stronger. This does not mean price has to break down. We very well could be compressing into a zone and get some impetus that pushes us up above a certain level, clears out shorts, and we get a very quick move to the upside. This is why right now, although the bears look like on price action that they're getting stronger, we still need to practice patience. And more than ever, at these stages of the market, with this type of price action, we need to be patient and we need to be okay with liquidity washouts in both directions. We need to practice healthy risk management and letting these trade setups come to us. Now, what does this look like on the 4-hour? And we're going to be doing a bunch more TA here in a little bit, but look at this. Come up here. Not only did it come up here on the 4-hour basis, broke beyond it, came back down. Then we got a doji candle followed by another doji candle, and then an inefficient move again back down on one candle. We see this, and now we're holding right at the weekly VWAP. If I were a betting man, it would be to test this range right below us, 25.6, 25.630. And more likely than not, based on the price action breakdown. So let's go ahead and go through a couple of the stories I wanted to go through today. And then we're going to dive in and do a bunch of TA. We're going to mix up the bag today. I'm not going to be doing an afternoon stream at 3 p.m. today. Got a bunch of stuff, meeting with Alex and Molly and a couple other people. We're going to be talking about some ways to get more content out to you, integrating some more people that can help and getting out resources and materials for the BitLab, but then also some stuff for the social media accounts to help bring more information to you. So we're going to be doing Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a bunch of altcoins. So I want to see right now, everybody throwing 2 altcoins in the chat right now that you'd like to see some TA on, and we will do it in the last 15, 20 minutes of the show. So definitely stick around for that. Don't get bored by the context and what's going on in the news, because that's what gives us the edge to give us a little bit more of an understanding of a probability bias in terms of what the direction could be for Bitcoin and altcoins. So everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. I cannot believe we still have about 55% of the people that watch on a daily basis are not joined and a part of this community here on YouTube. So hit that subscribe button and join us here. I want to see the numbers go up. I'd like to see if we can get 50 new followers in today's stream, because 55%, we have 121 people in the room. If we can get 50 new followers on today's stream, I will give a 3-month pass for free for BitLab Pro, which has all the course content, premium Discord, and the indicator. So let's get 50 people. Hit that subscribe button today, right now. Let's go ahead and I want to see on my analytics right now. Where is your activity? There we go. I'm trying to pull up the information so I can see the count, so we can. There we go. Now, okay, we got 9,111 followers. We need 9,161. So everybody hit that subscribe button. And we will be drawing randomly from the BitLab, those who retweet and hit the like button on this post from BitLab Academy. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some of these things we got to talk about today. All right, huge good news rains down on crypto, but what about price? Everybody's wondering this. You're wondering, why feels like there's good stories every day and the price is not yet reflecting it. That's because good news that has a long-term effect on price when there's still massive uncertainty as to what's happening with the economy, as to what's happening with, you guys don't understand. Yes, I look at the 4-year cycle on Bitcoin, and yes, I do believe Bitcoin is going to have, and the crypto markets are going to have an explosive 2024 and incredible 2025. If you think that we're going to have a bull market that's going to just be incredible following the halving, throw a 1 in chat right now. I want to see it. That does not mean that I don't believe that there's going to be some work that has to be done between now and then. And it's so confusing for markets, considering, looking over here, if we come over to, let's go to the game of trades, game of trade. Come on. The game of trades. What is it? Game of trades? There we go. Game of trades. I watch this, and this person is more broader markets, but it's so much good information from this individual. If you're not following at Game of Trades _, come give it a follow. But a lot of stuff that he's been sharing. So warning, NASDAQ and the Russell 2000 is back to the level seen at the peak of the .com bubble. So that's not, there's some things here. Households' net worth is contracting for the 4th time since 1990 at a time when credit card debt is above $1 trillion, the highest level it's ever been. And credit card interest rates have soared to above 20%. Consumers do not look to be in good shape. At some point, the terrible culture, I'm getting a bunch of dings in my ear. At some point, the terrible culture that we have, especially in the US with credit and debt, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing, because at some point, our savings, we've seen the records, we've seen the data. The savings have been depleted. They're getting to that point where they're, and there's a lot of debt being incurred on credit cards. There's higher levels of debt default, bankruptcy, and both consumers and on the corporate side, businesses, small businesses especially. What happens when there's no more savings and there's no more credit or debt to be able to be taken on to spend, less spending in market, likely recession. So we can see this. Default rate on credit card loans from small lenders now higher than the dot-com bubble and dot-com bubble and the financial crisis and COVID-19. So this is why, on the one hand, I'm so bullish on Bitcoin, and in a lot of ways, this is going to be an answer to all those things, but it's still tied in with risk markets. It's still tied in with the narrative of basically investing in risk assets. Now, we saw a little bit of a preview, I believe, in March of this year when we saw what was going on in March. All those the bank collapses, the cascading bank collapses. This is right here. Banks collapsing, Bitcoin moving up. So we can see that it can be done. Bitcoin can and has in small periods of time. It has performed better in some aspects, some would say, as a hedge against the traditional finance ecosystem. But that does not mean because it did it for a period of time that it's going to do it for all of time. We're still trying to shake off the doubt and the ignorance and what the hell's going on. We have institutions on the horizon of coming into the markets. They don't want to buy super high prices. We also see the fair value accounting rules change, allowing them to be a little bit more excited about investing in Bitcoin, because now they don't have to worry about holding it at a loss, even though their portfolio is at a profit, because it took 4-day dip 10 days after they bought it, but they can only announce the loss even though they're up 100%. That's essentially what it was before these fair value accounting rules. Now they can list the value where it's at fair value. What is the value on market? So there's so many things at play right now. Let's continue into this story because this just kind of highlights some of the bullish things going on. And I just want to highlight, along with this, why price not go up with all this bullish news. It's okay if you have a strategy and you are practicing a strategy and with that also patience, then you should be happy that there's all this great, bullish news in the background, just strengthening the case for Bitcoin. If price goes down, that gives us a better opportunity to take advantage of profits in the bull run if we're prepared. So, Grayscale versus SEC. We remember this a couple weeks back. The news that Grayscale had won its battle against SEC was simply huge. It wasn't the result, but the manner of the result. Judges in the case came firmly on the side of Grayscale, saying that the SEC's decision to turn down a Bitcoin spot ETF, while at the same time granting Bitcoin futures ETFs, was nothing less than arbitrary and capricious. What a nice word there. Capricious. What's more, a recent letter to the SEC from Grayscale's lawyers has really put the regulatory agency into a corner, finding a further reason not to grant the ETF looks improbable. And also, Grayscale is criticizing the time taken by the SEC to come to a decision. Let's be honest, government does not move fast in the U.S. But this is basically good. This is starting, we've talked about this. There's been some movement, I don't want to say in support of, but not sculpted by big banks making the decision. This is just looking at the law and saying, no, actually, SEC, you guys are jackasses. You're clearly trying to suppress something. They don't use those words, but that's essentially what they're saying when this is, arbitrary and capricious. There's no reason why these ETFs should have been denied or delayed. So the next thing here, Michael Saylor, victory for Bitcoin accounting is what we were just talking about. A new multi-billion-dollar use case for Bitcoin is created as new ruling allows companies to correctly account for Bitcoin on their balance sheets. Can you believe that? Now, think about that. Asset threatens people that don't understand it. And if they understood Bitcoin, they would not be trying to suppress it, other than the fact that they're trying to maintain hegemonic control through the control and oppression through the management or mismanagement of fiat currency. They can have these things run in parallel. Can you believe this is even a thing that we had to come to terms and figure out a way that companies can correctly account for Bitcoin? This is some bullshit right there. This means that now companies can purchase Bitcoin, put it on their balance sheets, and not have to mark to market the lowest price that Bitcoin had dropped to. That's essentially what it was before. You could only list the lowest price it was that year. Stupid. We know these things. I mean, that means it could have dipped 30%. And then 4 months later, when you're accounting for it on, at the end of the quarter or at the end of the year, you could be up 240%. But if you hadn't sold it, you have to list that you're down 20% because it had dropped 20% in that period. That's just ridiculous. So this is huge for the awareness and invitation almost to companies to be like, this. It's growing up and it's such a good asset that the regulations that are surrounding it are now in support of it as being an asset in kind like others. It's wonderful. Visa partners with Solana. Massive news that could lead to Visa and MasterCard using stablecoins for their intrabank settlements. So I don't really care about Solana. I don't like Solana at all. Some of you like it, and hey, more power to you. I have no judgment on anybody, any asset you buy. I just hope that you have it in a diversified portfolio and you're not taking on risk on some asset just because you have dream vision on that one asset. Let's be diversified. Let's be smart. Let's take risk, but also balance it with some hedging it and stronger and I don't want to say safer, but larger market cap coins that have better teams around them or different teams around them. Okay. But in this case, let's take the word Solana out here and just say crypto. Visa partners with the crypto project. That's the nugget there, not Solana. Now it's good for Solana, yes, but my point here is this type of thing when we're having major financial institutions like Visa that affect trillions in dollars of sales a year, trillions. They're partnering and getting integrated with blockchain projects. That's the nugget there. MetaMask creates off-ramp to bank accounts. Other financial institutions allowing off-ramps through a crypto wallet. Amazing. Sell their ETH into fiat and be able to deposit it into their bank accounts in the US, UK, and several European countries. For anybody that's wondering, is it difficult to get your money out of crypto and get it into a bank? I think it largely depends on the bank and it largely depends on the temperament of what's going on in the time. But I just withdrew, I don't know, about $12,000 last night from my Coinbase account. And I didn't even pay the express fee, so it would be instant. I did 1 to 3 business days. I did it last night at about 8 p.m. and it's already in my account and I already allocated those funds how I wanted to other things going on in my life. So it's not difficult. And we're seeing this more broadly across more banks and more opportunity to, integrate the systems of everyday life as we have them, legacy systems with this new technology. So the world is warming up is the whole point here. ARK files for an ETH spot ETF. Amazing. Not just Bitcoin. There's going to be institutional and retail access on the traditional side of things for spot ETF for Ethereum. Amazing. Bitcoin and ETH. Okay, both have a great future. Yeah, thank you for that. And that's why we're here. So point with all this is we're seeing, if you're wondering, how do I know if, it's a good time to buy or, and you're not even a technical analyst, you're looking at price action. You're just literally opening up just like a general thing, say CoinMarketCap, and you're just looking at price. You're not really drawing lines. You're just wondering. And even if you are doing those things, this is the type of thing that gives you insight into growth of an ecosystem. And when you have growth of an ecosystem and you see other institutions that have been around for hundreds or thousands of years, like traditional banking, and these types of things, and a newer age part of that banking, which would be like credit rails like Visa, when you're seeing developments, these are changing some of the fundamentals of Bitcoin because intrinsically it's making it more accessible and more integrated within the traditional systems we have. Now, on the one hand, I think that sucks because I want this decentralized world and all this kind of, but at the same time, this is one of those things that's necessary to allow it to still be the new kid on the block because it's assimilating in some aspects. And so you're wondering, I don't know, is Bitcoin a guy? I don't know. Look at how much integration in the world blockchain and Bitcoin and Ethereum and broader projects are having as well. This is, I mean, I'm excited. If you guys are excited, throw lab coats in the chat right now. Of course, I feel like my patience is wearing thin. It feels like, God dang it, when are we going to get that bullish pump? But then I remember, I zoom out on the chart and I say, oh, that halving's coming up. We're going into a presidential election cycle year. We're coming up towards, everybody expects, we're coming up towards the end of quantitative tightening, meaning there's not as much pressure on capital in the global liquidity flow. This means at some point there's going to, likely this month, you know, let's actually pull it up. Likely this month we'll get a pause. CME, Watch tools, there we go. Let's see. I believe it's in favor of a pause this time. CME future, CME is basically the probability is 95% right now, 95% of being a pause in this next FOMC meeting. When is this next FOMC meeting? Meeting information is going to be the 20th of September. So 12 days. 12 days. We got to figure this out. We're going to find out if there's going to be a pause. And then at some point, there's going to be a pivot. And remember, when we do get that pivot, it doesn't necessarily mean all pressure's off the market and everything goes boom. Maybe that happens. Maybe NASDAQ nosedives and Bitcoin absolutely goes through the roof. Because one of the things we have to realize right now, especially with everything going on in markets, is Bitcoin has grown up. It has a lot more growing to do, but Bitcoin has grown up in the face of institutions with the stamp of approval from somebody like Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, the largest institution, financial institution with the most assets under management in history. And he gave Bitcoin the stamp of approval, especially when not only did the spot ETF application, but also went on the press junket and talked about this being an international asset that's going to transcend other currencies. What an endorsement. We have, 12 or 14 other large financial institutions that have spot ETFs applications in as well. We got Grayscale. You see companies like MicroStrategy outperforming Bitcoin, and they're not a Bitcoin company, but in some respects they are. They went from being a software company to having a disproportionately large amount of their value has to do with their astronomically huge Bitcoin holdings. We're seeing the appetite for Bitcoin change before our eyes in the face of institutions. And for those of us, and it's none of you, for those of our friends and our families and people that have thought we were crazy, those people that were sitting on the sidelines saying they don't trust it, it's fake. Well, what the hell is your dollar backed by? War? Nothing. Dollar's been off the gold standard since 1971, 1970, early 70s. We print it just to the moon and devalue it in the process. And we're doing this juggling act with nothingness with the dollar. And yet Bitcoin is harnessed in so much verifiability and transparency. And those of us, all of you that are involved in this before the institutions broadly get a clue about what the true value of Bitcoin is, all of us, this is the opportunity of your lifetime. And I just want to say, congratulations on being here and sticking through this market in these frustrating times. And remember, it's only frustrating when you're out of position or when you need a trade to happen. It's not frustrating at all. In fact, you are elated understanding that 4-year cycle and what's going on and what is to come based on the supply and demand dynamics and how few people globally are a part of this ecosystem yet, and how many billions of people out there, even if we got 15% of the world involved. I mean, I can't even tell you what that would do to price. So let's not be frustrated about what's going on with the news and it not affecting price. The lagging thing. Once people realize and institutions start coming in and the retail has been waiting on the sidelines because they don't trust it, but now their Bank of America says, yeah, you should buy Bitcoin. That, you know when that's going to be? That's going to be when we come over here onto my chart. Let me pull this up really quick. This is what's going to happen. Coming right here. When those banking institutions and money managers that the mom and pop and your aunt and your sister, anybody that's been very negative about Bitcoin, they don't trust it. When these banks are offering, direct Bitcoin buying, directly out of their apps and You know, they're saying, yeah, this is, and when the slow pokes, in this case, the too conservative, because they're too lazy to look into the data here, it's a little scary at first, I get that, but they're going to be buying up here. Hype buyers with no conviction. They're buying because somebody told them to. If you ever buy something because somebody told you to, that's when you're going to take the loss. You buy when everybody says, I don't know about that. Smart money accumulation near bottoms. Dumb money at top. I'm following smart money. What about you? So, a couple other things. Is Bitcoin price in danger? Death cross looms. Just very quickly, we have the golden cross here that barely kind of held on, and now are we getting a death cross? I talked about this a little bit yesterday on the main show, and that was death crosses tend to lag the action, of course, and so do golden crosses. So you see this price action is going all the way up here. We got the golden cross here. Price action tested back into it and then pushed up, double top, came down. We're below this 200 moving average right here. 200 SMA, simple moving average. And are we going to get this death cross and then only to have this liquidity come down and then rebound directly out of it? So I don't put a lot of weight in this. If this was a larger asset like oil or something, then this would have a much different effect on my opinion of this, but I wouldn't get too shaken out about this. Okay, what was this? I just wanted to talk to you about whale and call and put options, but not enough time because we got to jump in to TA. If you guys are ready, you guys and gals, if you're ready for some TA, I want to see lab coats in the chat. I want to see them flying by. I want to see some emojis, and I got the list of altcoins that we're also going to try and run through. So we're going to end with Bitcoin since we already did some at the beginning of the show. But before we do that, we got 145 people in the room, 91 likes. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ding the bell right now. I want to see the same amount of likes as we got viewers. Hit it right now. And it's time to dive in. Let's do that TA. Getting some dings in my ear. What we got? Before we actually dive into this really quick, I just want to pull up something. For everybody, if you're a BitLab member, throw BitLab member or throw member in the chat. I just want to highlight, you know, we have so much going on in our Discord that so many people that are members are not utilizing. I would argue that the Discord is a higher value. We have so many courses and the content there and so much value in our courses in BitLab Academy. It's all these different courses here. But also, as an all-access member, you get access to our Discord, and we have all these channels here with, you know, discussion on trading, different setups, what's going on with different scalp opportunities, where to long and short, suggestions, different gym calls. We had, you know, we even had, where's it at? We had some VIP charts. We've got chart requests. We've got, I mean, so much going on in here. And I just really want to encourage you all to get involved. We're going to be starting to integrate the Discord and some of the stuff that's going on in here. So get involved in there. Share your charts. Ask questions. We may be sharing some stuff on streams and talking about what's going on and have you guys show me some setups. We can break down those setups. Also, live on air here and also in the Discord, the private members events that we do in there. So coming back over to the chart, let's go ahead and break down what we're seeing. Let me pull up my Discord real quick. Different Discord window. Okay. Let's start with, we're going to go back. We're going to do all the alts and then go into ETH and finally end with Bitcoin. So let's see. Cardano, how you feeling, baby? Let's see. So broadening wedge, broke bearish. That's how those patterns tend to break. Now we have a descending triangle where we have this descending level of resistance, flat level of support here. Those tend to break bearish, broke bearish. Now let's go ahead and delete this zone. Let's see. We have all of this work, this support, if you will, right here that we're just trading down. Look at this. So we bounced out of it, We kind of bounced a little more times. And then now to the bottom, we're consolidating at the bottom here. Is there going to be some downside price action for Cardano? Are you a Cardano holder? Well, we can see boom, boom, boom. As if we come out here to the daily, the one benefit that this does have is it's kind of looking like a potential W formation. But what we want to do when we're trading is see a potential situation in both directions. Now, this very well, you could just trade, go huge leverage long here and try to catch all of this, only to have this wick down to the bottom and then go up and flush you out, or not just wick down, but actually break down. So there's three different opportunities that could be happening right here in terms of, up or down direction, in addition to also continuing just trading sideways. So as it stands right now on the daily, it's looking like it's trying to make an attempt, but the RSI, the stochastic's not looking relatively all that strong. Still negative money flow, which is this purple wave here. By the way, if you do have the BitLab trading stack, if you come over here to Trend Fuel, you click on the settings here, right here, money flow, up, down, neutral. You can make this if you like it like a lot. For instance, if you want it not as, see how, make it a little more transparent or very bright, so it's very easy to see. You do that right here. This is the negative, this is a positive, the blue, and the gray is just when it's neutral. So we can see on the daily, it's not really showing us a setup yet. So come over to, let's look down at the 4 hour. Look at this, sharp move to the downside, still negative money flow. And we're just kind of sitting here in the zone. Actually, the bulls are, we had an attempt here, head and shoulders, shoulder, head, shoulder. It broke down almost to the level. Look at that. So got the head and shoulders. Now it's consolidating sideways. It's trying to get above the weekly view up, comes back down, finds support on the trend signal line, tries to get back above it, comes back down, loses the trend signal sign. So this is indicating some weakness at this level. Pushes back up above it again and gets now candle body closure lower than before. This is signaling weakness. So what do? We have this whole order block on the 4 hour time frame. Order block, this order block part of the BitLab volume. The BitLab volume, which is this, your volume profile, as well as your order blocks, as well as your BitLab intelligence with the moving averages and bearish and bullish setups, as well as, do I have this on here? Let me just make sure. Yeah. And divergences, but this is showing order block below us, a lot of liquidity interest down here. We already tapped into it a little bit here. Are we going to come and try to clear out some of this liquidity interest down here in like the low 23s, potentially even lower? But let's look now on a drop down, probably targeting somewhere between, I would say 22 to 23 cents. I think we are going to test the lower side of this range. And if we break down below that, then we can, potentially target somewhere down here at this 1.382. The 20 cents are down even to 17. But I think the moves that are coming, and I do think moves are coming, a little bit of an explosion of volatility. I think that there's going to be some liquidity washouts. This is why I say I think that we may get, like, for instance, a move down that's going to be very scary, and then a kind of resettling somewhere in the median sort of area. So say it comes down and we get this drop all the way down to 17.5. I do think we'll settle somewhere, have a rebound, find some consolidation for a month or two, and then have our follow through if we get that breakdown. But that's kind of what I'm seeing. We do have two bullish divergences right here. This is what this two is. I don't know why when I do live streams with you all, my computer is so freaking slow. These pop up immediately on my other computer. When you put your mouse over this two, it tells you what the divergences are, but there's no follow through on this. So are we going to get a push up? We very well could. I think if we do get a push up, we'll likely get rejected somewhere below 27 cents, more likely around the 26.5 level, and then we'll have to reevaluate. That's Cardano. Let me see. Is this today? I'm going to do a little bit, let's see. All right, you guys want a Doge? Okay, let's do Doge. At least Doge has legacy now. It's been around. I think it's one of the oldest, I think the actual oldest altcoin. And look at this. Like push up, a little bit of a head and shoulders, breakdown. And this looks very similar to what we're seeing on Cardano. There we go. Okay. High volume candle on the BitLab intelligence here, part of the trading stack, stopping volume. And then we end up breaking down. In this case, we're getting lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. We're getting a flat bottom. What does this look like? This looks like a descending triangle, descending level of resistance right here, flat level of support. This is kind of signaling a little bit to me that, yeah, exploring that downside. So this is where I would look, option J right here. Why here? Because you can see this line outlined on the BitLab intelligence gives you a level that you could need to pay attention to for if price does come down. If we bounce here and come back up, wonderful. That's at 66048. If we lose this level, then I do think we're going to be exploring further downside, potentially even down to this low here, which is 5.5. And then, this next low here, option J. That's the easiest way to do it, is just look at the previous lows in the most recent range. That's what I'm seeing on Dogecoin. And remember, Dogecoin, it does have a larger market cap, but it's a little bit fickle because of the types of holders that hold Dogecoin. It's not really these long-term investor types. It's people trying to catch a pump. And when it's not looking good, that you get faster moves on a coin like Dogecoin than you would on Cardano or XLM. So if we do push up though, I'm looking option J. If we do push up, note that we do have an order block directly above us. We have this descending trend line right here. If we break above this, I think, well, one, we need to clear 6498 before we even consider anything higher. But I do think if we break out to the upside, I do think it's more likely to be a trap unless we get some huge fundamental news in integration with something like Twitter or, X, integrations with payments or something like that. Then yes, this will absolutely rocket. But if we're only looking at the price action, what the story is based on the current situation, then I think a break above this trend line will likely be a trap, ultimately coming back down to test into this order block zone below us, basically 6.2. 6.2, but I'm 5'11". All right, let's see. H-bar, have we looked at H-bar recently? I can't remember if we looked at it yesterday, but it is on that list that was provided to me from the mods. 157 people in the room, 103 likes. Remember, we got 55% of the people that watch this show on a daily basis are not subscribed. I asked people, hit that subscribe button. We got no new subscribers. So I guess all of you that are here are just the true OGs, and that's good. Big love to all of you. We got our levels mapped out here very simply with the BitLab trading stack. We have the volume here that gives us the order block levels of interest, which look here, price came back down, uses this support. Now on the breakdown, we've got a little order block above us, two of them in fact, and we have this range we can look at exploring for H-bar. This is H-bar on the 4-hour chart. So if we do push up, I'm looking not only at this order block, but you always want to look at any signal that any line or indicator or anything that you're looking at on the charts. Where is the support and the confirmation, or the support and the confluence? In this case, we have an order block that's perfectly in line. If we let's do option, let's go right here to this low of this range right here. Where is that? Oh, it's right in the order block. So not only do we have an order block that printed after this zone over here, we can see that we have the previous lows of this range right here and right over here, and highs of this range. So this is a strong area that if price does push up into this, I'd be watching for, other than the entire market turning around, if we get a little impulse like we did last night with that, small push to the upside, if this continues up, I'd be looking at a potential short opportunity from the 5.3 area, ultimately likely coming down to test into this order block zone down at 4.5. That's what I'm seeing on H-bar. All right, what else we got? Algo. We haven't looked at Algo in a minute. Algo run. Man. Let's see. You see, we had a trade possibility over here and it ended up getting stopped out. And that's okay. Why? Because now you have lower prices. Just deleting some of these Fibonacci's. Fibonaccios and guac. Mr. Blake, you're 2'6"? Or what you measuring, bro? All right, we're getting the leg down stair step. Stair step down. A little bit of a relief here, but kind of a stair step down, stair step. But they're getting smaller. Kind of somewhat indicating that we're exhausting that selling pressure. And this did get pretty crushed with all that news from, or the allegations from Gary Gensler. So looking at the previous price action here, kind of a price exploration to the downside. 3 days, we're getting a lot of green here, but if we come down here to the 12-hour, look at that, a lot of red. Still negative flow. This stochastics rolling over. When we're looking at this, the trend fuel, part of the BitLab trading stack, probably one of the most important components, is this orange line is the stochastics. And if you're not seeing these lines or you want to see them or not see them, come up here to, you can double click on it, go to settings, or you can come here to the gear wheel, go to settings, and come to style. You can turn off, see that stochastic line, your RSI. You can also turn on your VWAP line if you want. If you want none of them, you just want to see the momentum and the money flow, turn those things off. You can make it how you want it to be, baby. But we're seeing negative money flow is kind of expanding a little bit to the downside as stochastics were going up. RSI is struggling, pushed up, rejection. Stochastics pushed up, rejection. The momentum's trying to work its way up, but I expect this will likely kind of flatten out and maybe make another lower attempt. Now, if we double click on this, we're on the 12-hour. You see we're getting these lower, option T, boom. See that? Low, high, high, high. We're fighting in this giant order block here. Let's go down to the 4-hour. I mean, look at that. There's just so much, there's been so much interest here because everybody wants to know how far down is this going to go. And it's such a good project that people want to get involved with how low this price is. Because remember, look at this. We go right here. Look at this. This is 301. And look at where we're at. Under 10 cents. For me, I'm a net buyer of this. Just DCAing kind of in. If it goes lower, I get a better opportunity lower. 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour gives us a little more clarity. Because we have this order block here. Comes up. Touches right on this zone. Perfect confluence here. Comes down. Now we've created a bit of an order block below us, but I do think this is probably going to, I think there's a strong possibility. I think there's a good possibility that this could drop along with everything else, but I do think this has been crushed quite strongly. And, you know, coming down, finding support here above 8.9, you know, potentially trading in this range, finding a little bit of a footing, is really what I'm looking at happening here. Because on the 1 hour, we have some positive money flow here, even though the price has just been consolidating. So there's a little bit of shift in trend there, a little interest coming in. See over here, all this negative money flow, which is a dark purple, and then it flips into positive money flow, even though the price is lower. It's almost as if buyers are saying, okay, we've hit that level, so let's pay attention to this. If we lose this level, 8.9, 8.97, if we, you know, break down lower, then I mean, I'm a net buyer anywhere at this level or lower for Algorand. That's what I'm seeing. Now, let's do one more. Then we're going to do XDC. XDC looks a lot like Algorand just did. Order block below, two order blocks above. Look at this. Money flow came down. It started angling up. But as it's angling up, the stochastic, the strength is kind of coming down. Do you notice this? Price is moving up. As price is moving up, stochastics are coming down. That's indicating a little bit of underlying weakness coming in. And what do we get? We get the strong volume candle, stopping volume, and the price still kind of goes up, but it's starting to roll over. So this is indicating to me it's likely going to come back and test 5.5 down to 5.4, this sort of region. If we lose that level, then we're likely coming down into the 5.2 to 5.1 sort of zone. Now, Ethereum. My mic keeps wiggling on me. Okay. Yeah, you know, same levels I was looking at yesterday. It pushed up. Where'd it go? It pushed up to, what did I tell you? I told you all yesterday on the push. Let's go to 4 hour. I told you all yesterday the price level I was looking at was roughly about where that line was, which is right in here at the 1660 up to 1670 sort of zone, and likely rejection if we push up into there. What happened? Rejection came back. We found support on this underlying, this larger support line that comes, you know, here here. Find support on this. On the candle bodies, the wick comes down and tests the zone into this order block liquidity zone below us. So as this is looking like another failed attempt, we're getting weakness. Are we going to ride the sideways? Watch for a little bit of a breach of this area into this order block zone. And if we lose this order block zone, again, the same levels I've been calling out lately, the 1580 and then potentially down to 1540. If the market starts getting a huge drop, then I do think we're going to come down and trickle down into those low 1400s. But this is really what I'd like to see, is holding above the 1540. So testing into this region, getting a little bit of spring, and then potentially consolidating and pushing up. That's what I'd see in there. Now, Bitcoin, Big Daddy Bitcoin, man, look at that call. Boom. Got a bearish signal right there. The RSI was falling into it. We had we didn't get any stopping volume. Interesting. We got a high volume thing and then a little bit of a reversal. Doji down. So again, with Bitcoin, what I'm seeing, let's go to the 30-minute. Let's go to the 24-minute actually. Get a little bit more clarity. 24-minute. Look at this. Push up, rejection, almost like a triple top. 1, 2, 3. And it breaks down. And then look, I just want you to notice something. This push up barely breaks above this trend signal, this 20 moving average right here in the full EMA ribbon, but it's finding resistance in this sort of, it's not shaded yet, but I expect it will be shaded here soon. What do I mean by shaded? I see how that's shaded between the 20 signal, the 20 and the 50. But this is getting rejection. The candle bodies are all within this EMA ribbon and getting pulled down. Still riding above the trend signal line. Still riding above this 20 moving average, but within this EMA ribbon and finding support right on the weekly VWAP. In this case, if we do lose this zone right here, which is 25,847, I do expect that we're going to come down and test down back here into the 25.6s. And if we lose that level, I think we're going to be in for a little bit of a washout. You know, look at that. You see that? This measurement of this movement here goes perfectly to this this trend line that we have right below us at 25. And 25 is one of those psychological numbers. So everybody in the chat right now, whether you're watching live or you're watching later, if you're watching later, drop your comment down below. Do you think Bitcoin is going to break? And I don't mean on a wick. I mean on a daily candle basis where the candle closes. Do you think we are going to break 25,000 and see that further downside liquidity sort of flush out that we've been talking about? Or do you think we're going to bore people out of their minds here and be a little bit more, basically holding this level, just dancing, just a little foreplay, tapping right above 25 and eventually just push up beyond it? Do you think 25, this 25 and above is going to be the floor of this pullback and push up? Or do you think we're going to be exploring lower? Let me know what you're thinking. And again, everybody, I love you so very much. If you want to understand how to read the charts, set yourself up for the probability of trading so you can make smart decisions. Head to bitlabacademy.com. Come over here to courses, view all, and you basically can see the various the courses we have here. We're working on a lot more. If you want the all access to all the courses and the premium Discord, they come together. Most people charge over 50 or 60 bucks just for their premium Discord. We charge, it's only $37.99 for all the access to all the courses and the premium Discord. And you can use Give Me 30 for 30% off your first month. Now, in addition to that, if you want all the indicators and the courses and the premium Discord right here, BitLab Pro, and it's discounted about 30% for buying it in a bundle, but you can also use that Give Me 30 for 30% off additionally off your first month. And then of course, if you just want the indicators, you head over to bitlabacademy.com, click on indicators right here, go to BitLab Trading Stack, add just indicators, and you can use, you guessed it, Give Me 30 for 30% off your first month. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Every one of you that are members, and we're going to be adding YouTube membership here as well with some fun access things. All of it helps keep us going and keep the lights on. I appreciate you all so very much. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, more importantly, and you get out of the charts and you spend time with your families and you ask yourself, regularly, what is my why? Why am I like, how can you be better? How can you sharpen your sword? How can you have a better life by having better communication with yourself? Because remember, if you can't communicate with yourself, you can't even know what kind of trader you are. So you can't put strategies in place to make sure that you're making smart decisions that will make sure that you can be a profitable trader. So All of this is tied together. I have a lot of love and respect for each and every one of you. Everybody, before we go, I want to see everybody throw those lab coats in the chat one last time. Let me know, are you a bull? Are you a bear this weekend? Comment down below. And if you are watching anywhere else, make sure you head over to BitLab Academy, youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. Hit that subscribe button, ding the bell, and I will be seeing you all. I appreciate you so very much. And without any further ado, I bid you adieu. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. Hit that like button, sucker. Check out bitlabacademy.com where you can learn how to read that price action and dominate your profits. Adios, muchachos.